So now that we finished reading, welcome to the greenhouse. I want to propose the question, what is a rainforest? So a rainforest is a forest, typically a tropical rainforest, which has tall trees, warm climates, and lots of rain. So now what we're going to do is, let's think of some animals that we think that may live in a rainforest. So they could be from birds to snakes to monkeys to big cats, right? So now what we're going to do, we're going to create a KWL chart, which is what I want to know, what I know, what I want to know, and what I learned. So first thing that we have here is so in the no column, we're going to have rainforests have lots of trees and animals. They're in exotic countries, meaning countries that we probably don't hear about every day, and that they're being destroyed. Okay? So what we want to know is what the animals eat, where do the animals live in the forest, why are rainforests important, and how can we save the rainforest. So what we learned, we're gonna fill the last chart in afterwards, totally at the end. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on the layers of the rainforest. Okay, so therefore we have 4 layers. The first layer, which is called the emergent layer, is the top layer, which is it's totally on top and gets the most sun, and the animals that are there are the ones that could get up there, such as birds and things like that. Underneath the emergent one, we have the canopy layer. So here, it's just right under the emergent layer. It's more bright and colorful. It's kind of just an overlay. Okay. So here we have more access to animals and plants. Okay. Beneath the canopy layer now, we have the understory. So the understory is right beneath, obviously, the canopy. And here it's just a little darker and cooler. Now, as the further we go down, the darker it's going to get because there's no sunlight getting in. So here, the understory is probably the best part of the rainforest to find animals. The understory and the forest floor, which the forest floor is the last place, just the last one all the way on the bottom. And here it's the darkest and the dampest, and there's not much sunlight, obviously. And here you have a little bit of plant life. Also, there is, like destroyed leaves and things like that. So now here is where you'll find animals such as snakes, maybe some monkeys, gorillas and stuff walking around, and things like that. So, now we're going to do a Venn diagram, okay? So now with the Venn diagram, in the center, obviously, we're going to have layers of the rainforest. We're going to have the forest floor, the canopy, and the understory. So the emergent, we could put the emergent as well, and try to figure out which one goes there. And from there, we could continue. Okay, so a boa constrictor we would have on the forest floor. Right, so now we're going to put that in our first bubble under the forest floor. Parrot, which would be only in the emergent, okay, Leafcutter ants would be on the forest floor. Okay. Orangutan would be on the forest floor. Anteater, forest floor. Passion flower butterfly. Here we could probably say the forest floor or the emergent. So we could actually put it in both. So we'll just write butterfly. Butterfly. Okay. Fruit bat. Here we could put in the understory. Fruit bat. Okay. Toucan. Something like a parrot, just a little bigger. Has a bigger nose. So, toucan. A leopard. Leopard's definitely on the forest floor. You know, we could actually put it in a couple of spaces. Leopard. Okay, because the leopard stays actually in the trees. And we'll see the canopy. Leopard. Okay. A snake, an emerald tree snake. So here we could say the canopy. Oh, canopy was too hard for leopard. Understory. Leopard. Okay. Understory would be tree snake and the floor. Tree snake. Okay. Lizard would be the forest floor. Lizard and understory. Lizard. Sloth. Okay, sloth can definitely be in the canopy, understory, and forest floor if we really wanted to. Sloth. Tree frog could be anywhere except the emergent. Okay, so we'll just put frog. 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 Spider monkey could be anywhere on these forest floor, understory, and canopy. So monkey we'll put. Okay. Okay. Now that we finished our Venn diagram, this is something what it should look like. As we can see, a lot of the animals kind of repeat within forest floor, the understory, and that's pretty much it, the forest and the understory, because a lot of other animals can't get to the canopy or the emergent. These are the highest points in the rainforest. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can go back to our, well, before we go back to our KWL chart, let's talk about this question. How do we decide which animals fit into the strata of the rainforest? So meaning, how do we determine which animals belong in what parts of the rainforest? Is it the emergent, the forest floor, the canopy, or the understory? So based on that, we made guesses on what the animals eat, what they look like, and how do they fit into the food chain. So for instance, we have, let's see, if we have a boa constrictor, right, that's on the forest floor. Obviously, it could go up trees and stuff, but a boa constrictor is very big. So in order for this to eat, it could eat any one of the animals that are on the forest floor, that are living in the forest floor. So for instance, a boa constrictor could eat an anteater if it really wanted to, or a snake, or another tree snake, for instance. It could probably eat a sloth if it wanted to. It's really big. Okay. Again, the emergent layer of the rainforest is the highest point in the rainforest. So we know that the animals that are all the way on the bottom can't really get up there unless they're birds. So, for instance, a butterfly, a toucan, or a parrot. Okay? So, lastly, let's just go back to our chart, and now we're going to go over what we've learned. Okay? So, what we've learned is what's a food chain, the 4 layers of the rainforest, which are the emergent, the canopy, the understory, and lastly, the forest floor. What animals are endangered, and where the rainforests are in the world. So going back to what animals are endangered, the majority of the animals in the rainforest are endangered because they're destroying the rainforest. They're knocking them down and building things for people to move in and live. So they're moving those animals out further or into towns where people live. So for instance, maybe a sloth is probably, endangered. Let's see, what else? Maybe a leopard because of its skin. A lot of people, want the leopard for their skin. And that's probably about it, based off our list. So, since a rainforest is a tropical forest with tall trees and stuff like that, and we know that they're in exotic countries, we have, so we know now that they're found in Africa, Asia, Australia, Central America, and South America. So being that the Amazon is the biggest, the largest rainforest in the world, that's actually located in South America. Okay, now I leave you guys with, I would like them to write in their journals, and what we're going to focus on in your journal is why rainforests are important, why do we use them, what do we use them for, the resources, how do animals fit together to make a rainforest work. So remember the Venn diagram that we did in the 4 layers. So you'll think about using this when you're writing that question, writing up the answer for that question. What does the rainforest do for the earth? And lastly, if the rainforests are being destroyed, do you think it affects New York, being that we're in New York? And also, if you have an idea of how we could save the rainforest and save these endangered animals, you could even put that as well, okay? You can be a little creative and use what we've learned from the Venn diagram and the KWL chart to writing your journals, and then we are going to share them together.